Lesson 9. The Clever Shepherd. Long, long ago, there was a king in England named John. He was jealous of the people who were wealthy and powerful. He suspected the loyalty of such people and always tried to track down a chance to accuse them of some crime and take away their wealth. Scene 1. King John is on his throne. The members of his council, the lords, knights, and high priest are all around him. One of the priests is the abbot of Canterbury. King John does not like the abbot because it is believed that he is richer than the king and has more servants and wealth than the king. King John asks the abbot in an angry mood. King: Sir Abbot, some people say that you keep a better house than I do. Do you think you are greater than the king? Abbot: No, your majesty, I don't. I am a humble servant of God. King: In spite of being a humble servant of God, you keep 100 servants. Is that humble? Why do you keep so many servants? Abbot: In fact, I need some of them, and the rest of them need me. They want work and I give them work. King: That's very kind of you, but where do you find money to pay them all? Do you collect it from the people of Canterbury? Abbot: No, your majesty, I spend only my own money. King: Indeed? It means you are very rich, but I don't believe you. You can't be so rich. And besides, you ought not be so rich. You are a priest. A priest ought to be learned and wise, not rich. Are you a learned and wise man? Abbot: How can I answer that question, your majesty? King: Can't you? Well, then I have 3 other questions for you. Answer these 3 questions or be ready to have own head cut off. Abbot: To have my head cut off? Your joke frightens me, your majesty. King: This is not a joke. Seriously, I intend to have your head cut off if you can't answer my questions. Are you ready? Abbot: No, yes, your majesty. King: First, how much am I worth? Exactly how much? Not a penny more, not a penny less. There is a laughter in the court. The nobles nod their head and look at the abbot with amusement. Abbot: How much are you worth? What's the next question, your majesty? King: What am I thinking? Everyone laughs again. The abbot looks puzzled. Abbot: These are very difficult questions, your majesty. I am unable to answer them immediately. I need some time to think. King: All right, I give you 3 weeks. Abbot: Thank you, your majesty. King: If you can't answer the questions at the end of 3 weeks, you shall die. The council is dismissed. The king rises and leaves the chamber. The nobles and others break into groups, all of them discussing the abbot's chances in 3 weeks from now. Scene 2. The poor abbot left the court and travelled all over England. He went to all the learned men of the land and asked them the king's 3 questions, but no one was able to give him the answers to any of them. So he returned home to say goodbye to his friends, settle all his affairs, and prepare for death. Very near home, he meets one of his shepherds. Shepherd: Welcome home, Lord Abbot. Welcome. What news do you bring from the court of the king? About. Very bad news, my friend. In 2 days' time, I must get all my affairs settled and be ready to die. Shepherd. To die? But why? About. Because I can't find answers of the king's 3 questions. Shepherd. 3 questions? I can find answers to 300 questions for your lordship. If you let me change my clothes, I promise to change the king's mind. About. Change your clothes? You don't need my permission for that. Shepherd. But I do on this occasion because I must change my clothes for yours. Lend me your about's robe for a few days and send me to the king to answer his questions. You know how closely I resemble you. Scene 3. 3 weeks later, King John is on his throne. The shepherd in the long robes of the about is before the king. He looks like the about of Canterbury. King. Where is the about of Canterbury? Shepherd. Here I am, your majesty. King. Can you answer my questions? I will accept no excuse this time. If you don't answer my questions correctly, you shall die before the sun sets. Shepherd. My answers are ready, but in case 1 or 2 of them displease your majesty, I beg your majesty in advance to pardon me. King. Well, I will bear that in mind. Now, how much am I worth? Tell me exactly how much, in pounds, shillings, or pence. Shepherd. Your majesty, you were worth exactly 25 shillings. King. 25 shillings? You think you can laugh at me because you are very rich. I am the king of this land. How dare you say I am worth 25 shillings? Is the crown sovereign worth only 25 shillings? This is simply an insult. Shepherd. Pardon me, your majesty, it's simple arithmetic. King. What do you mean by that? Explain yourself. Shepherd. It's quite simple, your majesty. A crown is worth 5 shillings and a sovereign is a pound, which is 20 shillings. So a sovereign with a crown should be 25 shillings. The whole court burst into laughter, cheering the shepherd. King John smiles. King. Well done, good about. That was very clever. What about my second question? How long would it take me to ride around the earth? Shepherd. If your majesty rises with the sun and rides by his side, as fast he travels across the sky, you can ride around the earth in 24 hours. All the courtiers cheers again. King. Indeed, I wouldn't, Sir Aboot. I wish I could ride so fast as that. Now hear my third question. What am I thinking at this moment? Shepherd. At this moment, your majesty, you are thinking that I am the aboot at Canterbury. King. Yes, I do. You are right again. Shepherd. But forgive me, your majesty, you are wrong. King. What? Are not you at the aboot of Canterbury? Shepherd. Pardon me, your majesty, although I look very much like the aboot, I am, in fact, only a humble shepherd of his. King. What? A shepherd? Don't carry your jokes too far. Shepherd. But I am speaking seriously. Believe me, your majesty, I am one of the shepherds in the about's service. I have come here in disguise to answer your questions or die in his place. Either way, I serve my master. King. By heaven, you do, my lord. How many of you have such servants as this shepherd? I wish I had at least one. Shall I be your master instead of the boot, my nobleman? Shepherd. But your majesty, you are my master already. I serve the boot and the boot serves you. King. Does he? Perhaps he does, but from now on you will serve me as the boot in his place. You both look alike, but you think and speak more like a boot than he does. Shepherd. But your majesty, I can only think and speak. I can't either read or write. So how can I do the duties of an boot? King. I see you can't. Anyway, I admire your wit as well as your loyalty. Ask me anything you wish. Shepherd. Your majesty, I beg you to pardon my master, the boot. King. All right, I grant your wish. Tell me the boot, he is pardoned and free to live in peace in the kingdom. Word meaning. Accuse, charge. A boot, head of monks. Penny, 1 cent coin. Robes, long and loose, outer government. Shilling, former British coin and monetary unit worth 1/20th of a pound or 12 pence. Sovereign, former British gold coin nominally worth. Wit, intelligence. Let's learn grammar. Conditionals. If clauses. When one clause of a sentence lays down the condition for the action expressed in the second clause, we call it a conditionals sentence or simply conditionals. If it rains, they will not come. Note: a conditional sentence consists of 2 clauses, that is, the if clause and the main clause. We use conditionals to express a general truth, the probability or the impossible conditions. If you throw stones at a dog, it will bark. General truth. If you start now, you will reach there before noon. Probability. If I were you, I would win the race. Improbability. If you had worked hard, you would have passed the examination. Impossible, the time is already over.